Hello and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rob Watson. I'm the Global Chief Marketing Officer for Outstanding Branding, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to today's exciting event. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. I've had the opportunity of muting everyone who's joining us on the call today, which gives everyone the freedom of being able to hear and listen to the presentation without getting into any background noise. If for some reason you have a question during the webinar today, please use the GoToWebinar control panel, which is listed there on your screen, and that'll give me the heads up that you've got a question. If for some reason I don't get a chance to answer your question during the webinar, not to worry. One of either myself or one of our great experts at Outstanding Branding will respond to you within the hour following today's presentation. Also, before we begin, we'll just get a couple of heads up here from my internal team to make sure that our sound quality and our video is working here, and they'll present something there in the screen. Great, good there. Let me just make sure we've got everyone muted. There we go. Perfect. So that said, I also want to let everyone know that I am going to be sending around a copy of today's presentation, so you can take the notes that you feel that you need to take, but also rest assured that you're going to get a copy of the deck that you have here today. The presentation, as I mentioned, is about a 30-minute presentation that includes a Q&A session at the end. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll take some time at the end, but again, if I don't get a chance to answer during the presentation, then we'll follow up. So without further ado, let us go ahead and begin. So today's topic is about corporate merchandise programs, and this might be something that you're familiar with, or maybe it's something that is brand new to you. Now, whether you are a large corporation or a small business, the role of marketing is really consistent no matter what size business you have. Whether you are training and supporting sales, whether you are generating new revenue opportunities, or even if you're finding new prospects and customers, the role of marketing is truly about brand and awareness of your company. And if you're like me, marketing's role is essential in managing trade shows and the company's branding, creating and managing sales collateral, coming up with really cool sales giveaways, and of course, managing promotional merchandise. So before we get really into the presentation, I want to pose this question to you, and I want to see what you would do. So let's say that your human resources department has just told you that they're hosting an employee appreciation event tomorrow, and that sales next week is attending a trade show, and marketing is looking for free giveaways that they can use for an upcoming community event that's going to raise some awareness about your business, your brand, your company, even your products. So you've got three big projects that require your attention of planning and sourcing and distributing promotional merchandise. And so what do you do? Now, promotional merchandise that I might add is crucial to extending your brand's reach to customers that you do business with, both new and old. In fact, promotional merchandise is kept, 60% of the consumers who get promotional items say that they keep that item for up to 2 years. And 91% of them have at least a promotional product that belongs in their kitchen. 74% have something that they have at their workspace. Think about where you're sitting right now. It could be a pen, a mug, maybe something that you're wearing, a padfolio, a briefcase. And then also 55% say it's something that they have in their bedroom. So this is why companies like yours are utilizing promotional merchandise as a cost-effective marketing tool to brand both to new customers and also to the existing customers to raise awareness. And so that's why at Outstanding Branding, knowing that this problem of having to solve a lot of different areas of events and managing that product was important. And so we created what we called the Corporate Merchandise Program. And in essence, it is initially there to save you time and money, save you a lot of the hassle. And then when we started to create the program, we realized it is so much more than that. So let's take a little deeper dive into what a Corporate Merchandise Program actually is. Now, we've created it to help you. So Outstanding Branding will warehouse and inventory all of your branded merchandise needs for the year. ultimately you're saving money there because you're purchasing all the products that you need on an annual basis rather than on an as needed basis. So you're getting all of those big quantity breaks. We'll even create an online store. And we're going to show you some examples of that in a second. We'll create this online store where employees, only those employees that you permit, are going to have access to order merchandise for their upcoming event. And then we'll ship those quantities that they've requested to that upcoming show, that conference, that event. It's going to save you the hassle of having to sort it out. So in the example that I used earlier, where you had human resources needing something for an event tomorrow, sales having a trade show, marketing needing some community outreach product, all within the matter of a week. Each one of those projects could have been solved in minutes using a corporate merchandise program, because it's products that you have identified that are corporate worthy and approved, and you've given only those people who are allowed to order that merchandise from the central warehouse, and then it's shipped out. And something that would normally take a marketing person, upwards of a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks of going through and trying to figure out product and putting artwork on it, getting it approved, getting the budget where it needs to be, it takes a lot of time. And so knowing that you've got all of these different programs in place, this allows you to save a lot more time, become much more efficient, and much more consistent in the way that you're branding and marketing your business. We're even going to manage those inventory levels to ensure that not only are you maximizing your spend with the products, but you're also generating really great ROI. So you're making sure that we've got the products that are being sent out that have the most interest, and we're also replenishing those levels so that when customers come back to your site, they can rest assured that they're getting the same products each time. Every one of those products that's going to be available on your site, your online store, is already pre-printed with your logo. So everything that we're inventorying, nothing leaves the warehouse before it has already met your corporate standard. If you need multiple quantities shipped to multiple locations, typically in the States here we call that drop shipping. Our logistics team has no problem doing that. They'll manage all of your inventory and shipping needs, and will easily ship it to as many locations as you need. And it's important to note too, there are absolutely no limits to the number of products that you can offer on this online store. Now, we'll work with you absolutely to make sure that we are putting together some product assortments that offer the greatest variety, but also working with you to make sure that we understand which demographic you're trying to target. But the sky's the limit. You can offer as many products on that site as you'd like to. And we're even going to give you real-time updates on stats and health of that program, so that you can make decisions on what products are leaving the warehouse, which products are affecting my bottom line, which products are having a very positive effect on my brand, customers are loving them, the feedback is great from my sales team. And so we'll work with you to make sure that all of that happens. Now, I want to show you a couple of examples, some live examples of a corporate merchandise program. And every one of them is beautifully designed, has gorgeous storefronts, branded not only with your logo, but all of the products that you offer are automatically pre-logoed and virtually sampled so that it looks like a complete merchandise storefront that is itemized just for you. Beautifully designed. In fact, we will merchandise it to feature products that are relevant for upcoming events or programs related to your business. So for example, if I want to do something, a category for health and fitness, because I'm very big into cancer walks or breast cancer awareness or bike-a-thons or sort of philanthropic opportunities within my community where I want to get my business out there, but it's health-minded things. I can have health products. The same thing for trade shows. Let's say you want to feature some lanyards and other trade show giveaways, so that when those people who you have deemed worthy of having access to this site have landing pages or separate storefronts that they can go to just for trade shows, or even employee appreciation for your human resources department. We monitor the inventory levels, and we will automatically replenish that stock on an as-needed basis. Now, we will work with you to make sure that we understand what inventory levels you want. We may put it at a threshold of 50%, so anytime we go below 50%, then we'll automatically start to create that order process. So everything is very automated. But again, we work with you to make sure that you and I and we're working in tandem to make sure that you've got the threshold that you're looking for. So perhaps you might not want on certain products not to reorder until you get down to about 10%, because we can get them in a faster turnaround. where we might offer our advice on some other products to start to reorder around 50% when stock goes down. But ultimately what this does is it gives the users some peace of mind and assurance that the products that they're seeing are in stock and available for immediate delivery, which is huge as a consumer. If you consider the experience of going to a site and think about your favorite shopping site, regardless if it has anything to do with your business, but knowing that there's peace of mind that if I go to that site, it's there. And imagine the negative impact of going to a site or a store and finding the thing that you want and it not being available. It creates this negative impact, even though they're employees. Just reinforcing as much positivity in that is huge. And we ultimately want to make sure from start to finish, from that beautifully designed storefront to really fast search engines, to the merchandised opportunities with really great call out categories, all the way down to the product detail page. We want to make sure that the ordering process is simple, that we're delivering to you on time, wherever it is that you absolutely need it to go. So you can see there, once I get to this product detail page, I've got my stock levels that are listed there. I can put in how many I actually need, add it to my cart, and I'm good to go. Every one of the products, as I mentioned before, carry your logo not only from the home page, but also to the product results page in those little thumbnails, to beautifully photoed products with your logo here on the product detail page. So it really gives the user an opportunity to see exactly how that logo is branded from start to finish. And that's why we stand behind our satisfaction. It is so important to us knowing that we've got all of these corporate merchandise programs in effect, that we have to make sure that all of these programs are being shipped on time. And that's why we have, even though we've managed hundreds of corporate merchandise programs, in the last 8 years, we still have a 99% product and logistics satisfaction rating. And that is throughout London, that is throughout the US, and we can ship globally as well. And not just from us, but you can take the word from some of our great clients, CBRE, Market Access, Epicor, Huntsman, just to name a few of the great clients that we've worked with for a number of years on their corporate merchandise programs. Now, aside from these external events and conferences, imagine the advantage of your internal marketing, human resource, even special events team, having immediate access to branded merchandise for or workplaces that aren't really in your wheelhouse or aren't really in the warehouse of inventory products. And that's why we created this custom idea of on-demand. So every one of the web stores that we have has an on-demand section that's going to showcase products that aren't pre-stocked or inventoried in the warehouse. And so what we let you do is we let you suggest really cool promotional merchandise options that can be printed with your logo on demand. So let's say that you have an idea for a new product to add, or maybe even colleagues you work with have requested a few new items, but you're really not sure how they're going to be received. So what you can do in the on-demand section is you can feature them, allow them to be focused, allow them to be searched, and promote it, and see whether or not other departments or those who you give access to the web store have an interest in that product before we actually add it into the full range of the inventory. So we're going to refresh your store with popular trending products. So even if you're not picking something that's on demand each month, we'll make sure that something that's vibrant or in the now or relevant. You know, right now we've got the fidget spinners and the fidget cubes, so perhaps that might be something that we would offer on your web store without you having to even focus on it. Something that's brand new, it's relevant, people can get talking about it, and that's just one of the ideas. As ideas and concepts and products come and go, it's just a great opportunity to make sure that you stay fresh and relevant, not only in the minds of those who you are providing promotional products for, but also those that you are assisting to source within your own business. But we want to do all the work for you. We know promotional products better than most, and you know your business better than most. So when we come together as a collective unit, there's a shared interest not only in the products and of the web store, but also making sure that your brand is fully aware of all the opportunities that it has. So I know some of the next question is going to be, how much does it cost for these web stores? And that's a really great question. So prices are obviously vary, but they vary on just a couple of different dependents, one of which is the number of products that you host in our warehouse, right? So that makes sense. It's, the more products that you have warehoused, the larger quantities that you have, the more shelf space that you're utilizing, the higher the price is going to be on a monthly basis, and also on the number of products that we ship for you. Now remember, I mentioned you can have as many products as you want on that web store, on the corporate merchandise web store. That doesn't have any determination on your price. What does is the shelving space that you utilize in the warehouse, and also how many products we ship for you on an annual basis. What our job is to work with you to make sure that you are getting the best opportunity and the best program that meets your needs. So that's why we've tried to come up with a couple of different programs. One being our basic programs where you pay a monthly store maintenance fee. The other is more of an advanced program. As you would come to expect, the more business you do, we want to make it as custom for you as possible, so that we're getting you the best delivery dates, the best shipping methods as well. So our experts at Outstanding Branding want to work with you, understand your needs. So I encourage you to contact your Outstanding Branding representative, let them know that you're interested in a corporate merchandise program, let them go through the steps with you, inquire about the types of products that you want. We typically turn these storefronts around anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks based upon the decisions that need to be made, which is a wonderful turnaround for us. But for our best pricing option, contact your Outstanding Branding expert and we'll get a response to you within 4 hours, which is a great turnaround there as well. So again, it's important just to understand, I don't want to leave the topic of pricing out. I know that I didn't do a great job of giving you the final answer, but it really is determinant on the number of great branded products that you want warehoused and how often you need those things shipped. But it is our job, because we are managing many corporate merchandise programs, that we offer you competitive pricing both in the logistics side and also on the product side, which is a wonderful thing. Okay. Now, the one thing that I want to mention to you, as whether you are a current customer of Outstanding Branding or you are brand new to understanding the Team OB difference, the one thing that really separates us is that we are not only experts in promotional merchandise, but we love promotional merchandise. And I just love the positive impact that it has on the brand. And we do tons of research on promotional products, on the demographics that are best served within promotional merchandise, the positive and the negative, and how we can learn and grow from it. And what's so interesting to me is that 85% of anyone who's ever received a promotional merchandise item remembers the advertiser that they got it from. The recall rate is highest for an apparel item at 85%, which is incredible. And that consumers are nearly 2.5 times more likely to have a positive opinion of promotional merchandise for the brand that gave it to them versus seeing an internet advertisement from that same brand. So that opportunity of a free gift, and if you think about, cost effectiveness, it's pennies on the dollar when it comes down to the number of impacts you're going to have. Now, also, if you look at promotional products, promotional merchandise, it is number one in terms of the types of advertising they like best. Consumers under 55 prefer promotional products. So between 18 to 55, the number one category in all demographics is promotional merchandise. And it is also the most highly regarded form of advertising, being number one, then with newspaper, radio. So you're looking at trust, loyalty, commitment, and again, remembering that statistic earlier where we learned that 60% of the consumers that received a promotional product kept it for 2 years. So when's the last time someone kept a newspaper advertisement or recorded and replayed a radio advertisement? I mean, and not to dismantle any of the other forms of media, but you're looking at a very cost-effective means. So I wanted to share that with you because we love getting stats and sharing it out. And, branded merchandise to us is more than just taking your logo and putting on it. It is our commitment to understanding, to to really identifying ourselves with your own brand. And with each campaign, we go back to our simple core values, that outstanding branding of respect, understanding, creativity, and professionalism. And we give that, which is so well deserved, to your brand, to you, and to the order itself. At Outstanding Branding, in addition to the services that we offer of advice and certain education, as I just mentioned, with statistics and things, we offer worldwide sourcing and supply. We also give you tons of great ideas. You know, our job is to take what you've given to us and also always be on the cutting edge and the forward end of providing you with great content and great ideas, giving you great visuals and samples that you can, before you make those decisions. Of course, with the corporate merchandise program, being able to warehouse and fulfill and distribute products on your behalf, keeping management of all of your stock and re-inventorying everything that we need to, and making sure that every product that carries your logo is also met with the same product and safety compliance regulations that we would put forth in our own product purchasing and sourcing. And then you're also going to be given not only the greatest customer care, but you'll also be given an account manager that rides with you through this entire process from start to finish, every step of the way. As I mentioned to you before, our core values of respect, understanding, creativity, and professionalism. And with that said, I encourage you to contact our team, both headquartered in either London or in New York City, who can talk to you a little bit more about your corporate merchandise program. Now, before we end today's presentation, I want to take a couple of questions. Some have come up through the presentation, so I want to have an opportunity to answer those. If you can just type those in to the GoToWebinar control panel. And while you're doing that, I'm going to answer some of the earlier questions that we have. One of which was, when will my order arrive? And so that's a great question. Delivery times are going to vary based on where they're shipping. You know, in the UK, we offer next day deliveries on all orders placed before 2 p.m. And then in the US, we currently offer next day deliveries to New York and other destinations will be delivered within about 2 to 6 days. And so that's anywhere from our warehouse in Delaware to New York. We'll guarantee that that next day delivery. Okay, great question there. Another question that we had was, can we ship lithium batteries internationally? Well, that's a huge question. We get that question often. And the answer to that is yes. We have several logistics experts that can help work out the best ways to get these products around the world, whether it's by road or also by flight. So we have different opportunities of delivery method from different logistics companies to make sure that no matter where it's coming from, and that we're getting the best options there. And now here's another question, what if I need to upgrade my shipping service? If you need the order sooner, we do have quotable services that offer a pre-1030 or a pre-12 in the UK and several European countries. Also, equally in the US, we can quote on delivering by air if the product needs to be sent sooner. So we've got that opportunity as well. A couple more questions here. What if the customer wants to return an item? Okay, well that's a really cool question. In fact, the returning of products is possible in the case, let's say for example, someone had the wrong size apparel or t-shirt that they ordered. What we're going to do first before this even happens is that we're going to work with you to adopt a returns process, right? And so what that does is that it makes sure that we put whatever the return policy is on the site, that you and I have worked out what the process is going to look like, both in terms of what are we allowing to be returned, what additional fees are we charging for the return, because we've got to restock it, QC it, make sure that there's no stains on it, nothing along those lines, so that we can actually put it back on the shelf, and then the shipping of sending out another garment item as well. What I will say is we do include size charts on all apparel items that are listed on the corporate merchandise program storefronts, which does minimize a ton of returns. But again, there is a return process in place, but we do work with you to make sure that we are doing that as well with you. What if the products that are delivered are damaged? Well, absolutely. We try to make sure that happens very, very little. In fact, we work with a lot of our vendors to ensure that the way that they're packaging and shipping, and also that our warehouses are packing with the greatest care imaginable. But sometimes mistakes do happen, and of course, damaged or faulty goods are going to be replaced immediately. What we do ask is that you alert us to any damages or errors that happen within 72 hours of the order being delivered to you. And then we are probably, just for insurance purposes, we'll ask for you to take a photo of whatever was damaged. It's just good for us to keep on track as well. But luckily, based on 99% customer satisfaction and delivery rating, we have not had too many issues like that, which is great. Let's see, last question here before we end today's presentation. Let's see. Do you offer global distribution, or do you collaborate with other vendors from other locations other than that? Yes, we use a team of logistical experts, and we can deliver worldwide. This includes delivery to EMEA and all of our warehouses as well. So that means we can ship global. We can offer things global. If there are products that you're looking for that you would like to feature, that we currently don't have, then we would love to have the conversation with you to see whether or not it's advantageous to add it to your corporate merchandise program. But thank you for that. Wow, that's a lot of great questions. I appreciate all of that. Just a fair reminder is that I will send out this presentation following the end and close of our webinar within the hour. I'll send it out to you as a downloadable PDF. I know sometimes my images can get to be a little large, so it makes it a little easier for you to manage. Once again, I appreciate the time. If you have any questions at all, please contact our team that's listed here on the screen. And with that said, I wish you a great rest of the week and happy promotional merchandise hunting. Take care.